Hello and welcome. My name is Susan Kimmel, and I'm excited that you're here today on our Creating Content with Canva workshop. This is going to be super low key, super interactive. So please feel free to turn your camera on, ask questions as we go. I have a couple questions here. If you want to put them in the chat, that would be really great. Just let me know where you're from. What's your business? Hey, Nancy, good to see you.
Hey.
Let me know also if you have the free or paid version of Canva. That'll kind of help me guide where we're going. And if you have specific questions, like I really want to know how to do this, you can let me know and I'll try and get it answered. So we will. We have a couple people coming on. I don't know for sure how big we're going to get. We have about 20 people registered. And just so you know, also you'll get the recording. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, everybody. If you could just in the comments answer these questions, let me know where you're from, what your business is, if you use Canva, if you have the paid or free version, and if you have any questions. And of course, you can ask as we go. Like I said, I want it to be super interactive and casual. This isn't anything fancy or formal. I want to just kind of help you get, if you either understand your level of where you're at in Canva and answer some of those questions you have in North Carolina. Great. Thanks. Wait. All right. Well, it looks like everybody's a little shy today. That's okay. But I want to be super respectful of everybody's time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. People will probably be jumping on as we're going. So I'm going to be watching for that. But as I said, my name's Susan, and we're going to get started with our workshop today. Okay, so we're going to meet me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and kind of my background. And we're going to talk about kind of like the super high level, but also kind of getting into the nitty gritty of Canva. We're going to talk about fonts and how to use the different effects on them. We're going to talk about templates and then the various elements, graphics, photos, videos. I don't think we'll get to audio today. But we're going to kind of address all of these. And like I said, please ask questions as we go. If you see something, you're like, I've always wanted to know how to do that, I'm happy to answer those questions. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm Susan. I am the owner of Unstoppable Marketing. I am a mom. I'm a grandma of 2 babies. I'm an empty nester and entrepreneur. I have a great dog, Mowgli, who's a pug. I should have put a picture of him on here. I love to travel. I'm an Enneagram 3. Back during COVID, so I have an MBA, I have a business background. Back during COVID, I went back and got my social media marketing certificate and started getting a few customers. I do some social media content creation. I manage a couple social media accounts. I also have a full-time job. So this is a side hustle for me now that I want to turn into a full-time position. I do love my 9-to-5 though. So I just love that I can be creative in this side of the business, which is a little bit different from my 9-to-5. But I just love helping people with social media, helping them to make sense of it for what's right for their business. So that's a little bit who I am and what my background is. I will tell you, Canva, I meant to look up the number. I'm at about like 600 designs on Canva. So I feel like I'm fairly confident in training you on Canva. And certainly if I can't answer any question you have, I can get the answer for you. So feel free to, if you have questions, like I said, you can unmute. I may or may not see the chat. So if you've asked a question, I don't seem to be answering it, go ahead and interrupt me. Like I said, I just want this to be super casual and interactive. All right, so let's get started. So I think, let me check okay, we've got people from all over the country here, and I'm just going to assume everybody has Canva. And it looks like most of you have, some of you have the paid version, which is good. Does anybody have the free version? Does everybody have?
Haley, I'm Nancy's assistant. I have the free version.
You have the free version. Okay, so I'll try.
I have the free version as well.
Okay, I'll try and stick to free content. But I probably will show some stuff and try and differentiate which is free and which isn't. If you feel like you're really going to be creating content for your business, I think it's $12.99 a month for Canva. There's so much more you can do with the paid version. Of course, you can, that would be a business expense. So if you really think you're gonna, if you take this class and you think, oh, I could really use this, I would definitely consider getting that paid version, just because you have access to so much more content and stuff to make your content pop a little bit more. Okay, so like I said, please don't hesitate to ask questions as we go. So I'm going to start first. Okay, you do not have Canva. Not even sure what it is. Okay, Cheryl. So Canva is a tool that helps you create content. Anything from images. So for example, if you're on social media, you see like a quote, nice quote with like a scene in the background. That's probably created on a tool, either Canva or a similar tool like Adobe, Photoshop, any of those. Canva is just a super user-friendly platform. It's way easier than a lot of the other more graphic design type systems out there, and it's very affordable. So you're going to get a good idea of the types of things that you can create. So you can create images, you can create documents. I've done my Christmas card on Canva. I've done name tags for a job. So there's a lot of different things that you can do on Canva for your business. You can do posters, you can do flyers, you can do I've done infographics for companies on here. As you can see here, so many different things, presentations. So if you sometimes use a PowerPoint, you could do a presentation on Canva instead of a PowerPoint, and it's going to be much prettier and easier to use. So that's what Canva is. And it's just canva.com. It's an online tool. You can even get an app for your phone. I prefer to work on desktop, but sometimes I'll use the phone app if I'm doing something like super quick and not too fancy. But you can also create it on the desktop and then download it onto your phone from the phone app. Okay, so templates are the best way to get started. So if you look here, I'm just right here at my home screen, and I'm just going to click over here on the left-hand column, and I'm going to click templates. So let's say you want to put a post out, of a reminder for somebody to contact your business. Oh, sorry. I have a lot going on, trying to admit everybody. So I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. Okay, so actually, let me go back. So here I'm at my home screen. And you can so up here, you can see all sorts of different things. Before I hit that template, I'm going to create a design, and we'll say I want to put something on my Instagram account. So I'm going to come over here and I click create a design in the upper right hand side, and I'm going to click Instagram post, which is a square. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to just pull up the right size image for an Instagram post. And I just know I need to put something out there quick. I want to remind people to contact me for their January purchases of something. So I'm going to come over here to design, it's already clicked. It automatically clicks at design. And I'm here. You can see right here in the left-hand side, it says templates. So right here, I'm going to type in message, because you've probably all seen these on social media where it's just like this little reminder, like on your phone, right? Like when your phone, you have a reminder in your phone, it clicks up here. So the difference here is these ones with the little crowns, you get these for free when you have the professional version, the $12.99 a month version. You can, if you have the free version, use them. It will just charge you. So once you create your design, you'll need to pay for it in order to download it and use it. But we're going to pick one that doesn't have that little crown, just to show you can do it with the free version. You can see there's so many more options for the paid version, but there are some here for the free version. So I'm going to do this one first. So all I'm going to do is click on it, and it will automatically bring it over here to my workspace. All right. So the main thing when you're using a template is don't just use it as it is. Change it up to be your colors. Hopefully you kind of have a color scheme that you like to work with. If you have the paid version, you can set all that up with your favorite colors and your favorite fonts. But otherwise, let's just we're going to say, I'm going to use my colors for my business, but if you have specific colors that you want for your business, you would use those. So I'm just going to change this up to look like something that would come from my brand. So if you can see here, I can click on all the different elements. I can click on the font. I can click on the different elements, the little speech bubble, the speech bubble that kind of looks like a shadow, the heart, all of the text I can click on. So I'm going to change the background first. So I just clicked on this big space and you can see how it highlights the background. If I come over here, you can see this is where the background color is. So here to the upper left, if you can see my cursor, and it says background color. So if I click on that, it's going to pull up the color. So there's a couple things I can do. If I don't know what I want, but I know I want it to be blue, I could type in blue. And it's going to pull up a whole variety of blues. If I actually know the color code of my color, which is a more advanced feature, you could type that in there. You can see here, I have the professional version. So I've saved all my Unstoppable Marketing colors right here. And if you have the paid version, you can do that. So you see, here's another one of my clients, wireless telematics. This is my 9 to 5. So if you are going to use it on a regular basis, like I said, I do recommend doing that, but you don't have to. And then then it will just show some like default colors here. So we'll use a default color. Well, actually, we're going to use my colors. So I'll just come up here and pick that blue. I want that blue. It's as easy as that to change the color. Like I said, I could have typed blue up here and picked one of those blues. I'm also going to change the font because I have my own font that I use. I definitely recommend if you're going to be doing content creation for your own business is pick about 3 fonts that you like. I suggest you pick a script font that you like, a sans serif font. So sans serif means without the little fancy edges on it. So you know how like some lettering, like Times New Roman, like if you have the T, it has the little dashes at the end of the T, at the end of the lines. That's serif. Sans serif is without those. So I suggest you have one script, one sans serif, and one serif font. And those are like the 3 you stick with. And honestly, you never really want more than like 2 different fonts on a single graphic. Today, we're going to stick with one. So when you do have the paid version, you can select those 3 fonts that you want, and it will always show up. But if not, it's not a problem. You can still just pick the ones you want and just write them down so you always know these are the fonts that I'm always going to use. And you can see there's so many different options. But what you do to change the font is you click on the text box, click up here where this is the name of the font that the template has. So if I click on that, it's going to pull up recommended fonts. And once again, some of them are paid. Here's my Unstoppable Marketing font. So these are the fonts I use in all of my content. And we're going to use these again. And then there's just, I've uploaded some fonts, but you can just scroll through here and see all the different fonts they have. Once again, if there's a little crown, that's professional. It's not free if you have the free version. So you could pick any of these that don't have the crown on them. I'm going to go back to my fonts, and I'm going to change it to this Cocoa Gothic Ultra Light, which is what I really like as my sans serif one. And I'm going to change the font. I'm going to change the text, obviously. So I'm going to say reminder, all Unstoppable Marketing today. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And now, okay, so that's kind of small for that section. So I might just go ahead and increase my font. So I click on the font. Remember, up here is where I change the font type. Here's where you can change the font size. So you can either simply click the plus button, and you can see because I have this lined up to only fit in this box, it will automatically do a carriage return, if you will, back to the old typewriter days. Or I could click on the number and then just come down here and pick a font size. So we'll just do that. We'll go to 46. And you know what? I think I still want today to be up here on this line. I don't like it with just one word down there. So I can actually stretch that out. See how I stretch that out? And it allowed that today to go back up on there, and it actually kind of realigned it. So you can play around with it like that. You can move it around. Gosh, so then I'm thinking, and you just have to look at it and see, what do I like about it? What don't I like? Well, maybe I'll just make the font bigger. So maybe it'll look better with that today down there. So I'm going to come here and change it to 42. Okay, I definitely like that much better. And then I'm just going to reposition it there inside of that speech bubble. Okay, so now I'm going to change this. So you can see there's two speech bubbles, one on top and one that's like behind and down to look like a shadow, which is a really great technique. So I'm going to leave that top one, that white color. It's kind of an off-white and I like that against my blue, but I want to change this accent one, the shadow one, to one of my colors. So can you see how I'm clicking them all and they're just a little bit different? So I'm going to click the one that's behind, come up here, and you can see my color here again at the upper left-hand corner. When I click that box, it's going to pull up my colors again. And so here I could type in another color. I could say pink. Maybe I want it to be pink. It's going to pull up all of these options. I'm going to use my Unstoppable Marketing color. So I'm going to clear that out. Come back here. I'm going to pick my little terracotta color there. And I'm going to change my heart the same way. So a lot of elements when we get there, you'll be able to color those into your brand colors as well. So I'm going to click on that. Come back up here. It's still on color, so I don't have to click the color. And I'm just going to click my terracotta color again like that. And there we have that. And then, of course, I don't want this on there. I could put my phone number down there maybe, or my email. So let me do, I'm just going to get rid of it. But so you could just delete that if you wanted. Okay, so that's one way to use a template. Now, since we're just here, I'm going to just add another page, and that creates another blank canvas for me. I'm going to actually delete that color. It saved that background color, but I'm going to add this free font because I want to show you a fun feature if you're using a template and you want to change it out a little bit. So if you see over here back on the left, I'm going to take this one that kind of looks like water. And so that background, instead of just a color background, is actually an image. So you can do the exact same things I did on the other page. You can click on the elements, and if a little box is up here with color, that means you can change the colors. So let me do that really quick, and I'll change. I like that gray. I think that looks fine with it. I can again change my font. So I click on the text box, click on the font. I'm going to make that. I'll do this Cocoa small caps, which I like. So all the same things. I'm not going to waste your time with that, but let me show you how to change the background. So you see this is actually an image. Let's say instead of water, we want clouds. Okay. So I'm going to come up here and I'm on the left-hand bar, the black bar, you can see it says design at the top and then elements. Elements is where you're going to find your little icons and your graphics and all sorts of stock images that you can use. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to type in the search bar clouds. Okay, so the first little section here is going to be graphics. The second set is going to be photos. I want to look at photos for this because I want a photo to be my background. So I'm going to select all. I am going to scroll down until here. This is kind of what I'm looking for. You see a lot of these are actually free, which is great. I really like this blue one with the clouds. So I'm just going to left click on it with my mouse and I'm going to drag it over. So you can see I'm slowly dragging it over. I'm going to kind of hover it over here and it just automatically pops in as my background. So you can change that out. Another way that you can do background, which is if that's a little bit tricky for you or hard, I'm just going to show you. Let's try this pink one. I'm just going to bring it over here and put it on top of the image or on top of the canvas. And if I right click on my mouse, this whole little toolbar comes down and I can come all the way to the bottom and say replace background. And that'll automatically replace the background. So that's just another fun way to play around with templates. So templates are such a great tool. If you just like need something quick, you don't want to have to design it. You can come to the templates. So once again, that's back up here at design, templates, and then you can type whatever you want in. You can even do like a funny meme. I do funny memes a lot. Okay, like that. And here's some really funny things that you could bring over and just modify to fit your brand. You could trade out images, you can trade out the fonts and the colors, and you can do that in just a few minutes and super quickly get something out on your page if you feel like you need to do something, like maybe you're having a sale or it's a end of month promotion or a beginning of a month, something, but you just need something quick. Templates are super easy and it'll get you started. If you're don't feel really confident in your design capabilities, it'll kind of get you started to see, well, what do I like? And in Canva, they put it what's, I know you guys I see these all the time, these messages, type of content. So it'll kind of give you like what's new and what are people doing as well. So definitely think about using templates to get started, to play around and change it up to fit your brand. Okay. And oh, I see we might have a question. How do you move it from Canva to Instagram to post? Okay, great question. Okay, so once you have it up here, there's a couple things you can do. This is almost exclusively what I do is I download it, and I'll show you how to do that. I download it to my laptop, and then well, so there's a couple things. You can download it to your laptop. I schedule almost all of my business Instagram through Facebook Suite, but you could download it to your laptop and you could like email it to yourself or save it in the cloud and then, download it. I don't know what kind of phone and everything you have. However, you would get it to your phone. Or if you have the Canva app, you can open the app. So you can create it on your desktop and then open your app and download it from your phone app. And then it's on your phone if you want to post it to Instagram that way. So it kind of depends on how you're using Instagram for your business. But to download it, so we really created like, I guess 3. We created 2 graphics here. And this is me. I like to kind of I like to have some sort of naming convention for my documents. So if you look up here on this top bar, you can name this document. So I'm going to call this the reminders, because you might want to come back and change it up and change some colors and do another reminder in a week or 2. So I'm going to call it reminders, and then each one you can name. So each different page in here you can name. So we're going to name this one the blue reminder, and we'll name this one the cloud reminder. Okay. All right. So when you're ready to download, you just come over here to share and you click on share. And you're going to, let me move us. Okay. And then you're going to click download. Because it's 2 images, you can download them both if you want. But if you're like, I'm just going to do the blue one this week and I'll do the pink one next week. If you click on here, you can decide which one you want. So unclick and just say, okay, I'm just going to click blue and then hit done. Then up here will be the file that you want. So I usually do PNG if I'm posting to Facebook or Instagram. You can do JPEG, but PNG is just a little bit higher quality and resolution. So that's what you want to do, and then hit download, and it'll just download it straight to wherever your files get downloaded on your computer. For me, it's the download file or folder. And you can see down here that it saved it there. Can you see that? I'm not sure if I'm sharing that piece of my, I don't think I'm sharing that page, but it will just download it to your computer. And then you can do, however you would get it to your phone. Did that answer your question, Stephanie?
Yes, it answers my question, but if it's on my computer, then I don't know how to get it to my phone because, I guess I could email it to myself and open email on my phone to then save it as a picture in my phone.
Right. So then what you can do is you can, do you have Canva on your phone? Have you downloaded the app on your phone?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be a great thing to do. Stephanie, do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
Android.
Okay. So I can't really talk to Android, but I would definitely, I do that a lot, is I create everything on my desktop, but if you download the app to your phone and log in with the same credentials, all of your content will then be on your phone and you can just download.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do have the app on my phone already.
Yeah. So if you log in, once you create something, it'll be out there and then you can download it from your phone and it'll be saved onto your phone.
Okay.
But then, designing it on the laptop is so much easier and better, for me specifically. My fingers, I can't get all these details on my phone, on my little phone with my thumbs.
So if you go into the Canva app, because it's saved in there and you want to post it onto Instagram, then are you saving it into your pictures on your phone?
Yeah, it'll say, yep, it'll download into your picture file, wherever that is. And then you would upload it just like you would if you took a picture of your, your cat and uploaded it. Yeah, same exact way.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank
Great
you.
question. Of course. Okay. So let's talk about, so let's look at Canva, and we're gonna design one from scratch. So we're gonna go back up here to create a design. We're gonna do an Instagram story again. And it's just gonna bring, oops, not story. Sorry, guys. Let me do, you can do stories. It's just easier to show on an Instagram post. So the square again. So Instagram post. There's also Facebook posts. You can design, your banners for your Facebook page, for your Facebook groups. You can do all of that, and they have all the sizing in here. All right, so let's talk about letters first and fonts. So first, we're going to go over here. So we have a blank canvas, and we're going to do some text. So if you come down here, you'll see on the left-hand side, it has design, elements, uploads, and text. So let's just do text. I love, this is a really great feature if you are struggling with design as well, because, design doesn't come easy for everybody. And I just get better every day myself. So the more you do it, the better you're going to become. But they have these font combinations, which are really fun. So if you're going to have like a big sale going on, this is really pretty and fun and eye-catching. And it already has like some of the effects in it. So feel free to look in here and see what you like based on what you're trying to promote or market that day. So these are always options to use, and you can change the colors to match your colors, all those things that we did with templates. It just kind of gives you a head start on some fun graphics. And you can see I use them. I don't feel the need to recreate the wheel every time if I see something that's going to fit the design I want. But for today, we're just going to start from scratch, and we're going to add a text box. So it's just going to add this text box. You can make it bigger by a couple ways because this is going to be hard to see. So you see this little dot right here? You could click on that and expand it like that. That's one way to make it bigger. You can increase your font or decrease it like we did before. You click on the text box and you come up here and it shows the font size, and you can make it larger or smaller based on the number. So we're just going to leave it at that. And we're just going to type in 1 day only sale. Okay, so we're just going to do that. And I'm just going to show you some fun things about fonts. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. First of all, if you want to center your font, you can drag it until you see that little line. See how that line's there? That means it's centered. So you can do that. You can also come up here. This is like your toolbar up here at the top across this horizontal white bar. You can come up here and this will center it. So here it's going to be, actually this will align it within the box. So let me make the box a little bit bigger so you can see that. So this will align it within the box if you want it right justified, centered, left justified. Okay. If you want to center it on the page, you can come to over here on the right-hand side, position. And then here you can center it. You could put it in the middle of the page. Okay. So that's a great thing to note. So I'm glad I did this. It centered it based on the box. See that? See, I have all this blank space here. So if you want it to just be the size of the text and then position and then center it, it centers it there. So you can make your box bigger or smaller, but just keep that in mind that if you use this position to center it, that you need to make sure that the box is that size. Okay. So you can change the color of your font. So once again, I've highlighted the text box. See where it has this letter A with this little rainbow bar under it? This is where you can change the color of the font. So we can change it to this pretty terracotta color. I can make it bold. Now, some fonts, you can't based on the font. This particular font allows you to make it bold. But you see, because my text box is small, when I made it bold, it made it larger. So you might have to come back here and adjust it so it gets all back on the same line. We can go back over here and then recenter it. You can also italicize it, underline it, any of those types of things. You can also maybe make it all one, either uppercase or lowercase. So you can click that and it makes it all uppercase, or then it goes back to the original version where I had the one uppercase. All right. Let's talk effects. So you can kind of make your text fun. I'm actually going to go ahead and bold it, but there's several different options here for just kind of jazzing up your font, if you will. This is none. There's no effects to it. You can create shadows. So you see how that made a little bit of a shadow there. And there's a lot of different things in shadow you can do. You can offset it more. So watch as I increase this offset, you can see more and more of the shadow. Okay, you can change the direction. If you don't like that direction, you want it the other way. See how it's flipping around and around. Blur. So it's kind of making it more blurry. So it looks more like a shadow than a real, it makes it even more shadowy. And there it's more crisp on the blur. Transparency is sort of how much you can see through it. So when I get to the lower numbers, you can barely see it, or I can do the higher and it's the exact same color. So this kind of gives you that different level of opaqueness, if you will. You can also change the shadow color. So let's change that to this blue. So now you can see it's both my colors with the shadow. And once again, you can change any of these options there. Okay, so lift is kind of gives it that fogginess in the background, and that's just the intent, whatever intensity you want, you can play around with that. I really love this hollow. So I'm going to show you a fun little effect that I like. So hollow just kind of makes it that outline, which is super cute in and of itself. Another thing you can do with hollow is I can take this same group of text, I'm going to make a copy of it. And I'm going to do that by duplicating that. See how it kind of off centers it there? I'm just going to line it back up so it's right on top of each other. So it's two text boxes exactly the same, right on top of each other. I'm going to go back to effects and I'm going to unhollow one of them and I'm going to change the color, and it kind of will give it like this outline. See how it gives it that little outline? So I think that's a super cute way to use that font as well. All right, so let me delete one of those. Okay, so we're back to the hollow. Splice. Echo. I'm not going to go through all these, but play around with them because they're lots of fun. Glitch. And you can change the different shadow colors on that. I don't know that you can change it from any of these. It kind of gives it that neon look a little bit. Neon, you can do that. And this will just give you a background along the entire text box. Another fun thing is this curve. So if you want to do, let me go back to none up here and we'll do the curve. You can change the curve as much or as big or as little as you want. Here is where you expand, or like if you want to do something in a circle is really fun. You can go up and down. You know, you could do like a little smiley face and, you know, that'd be cute. And then two little circles or something there. So that's just a really fun way to play around with font. Any questions on that? Nope. All right, we're going to get rid of the font. I'm going to get rid of the curve. Okay, let's talk about animate. So here we have 1 day only sale. So animate's really fun, and it gives it, and I like to use this and kind of turn it into a GIF instead of an image. So that you can either turn it into a GIF or a GIF, depending on how you say. I call it a GIF. Everybody calls it a little different, or a video even. So it's a kind of a fun way to create a video without having to do all the video. So you can have font do a variety of different things. Once again, some of these are paid and some aren't. You can see I clicked animation at the top. So when you click animation, it's going to take you to either page animation or text animation. We're going to do text animation for now. I love the typewriter font. It's one of my favorites. So you can see it just like types it on there, right? But there's all sorts of them. And when you just hover over them, it'll show you what the effect is. So if you've ever done a presentation in PowerPoint, it has these as well. But this is just a way that you can animate your graphic, turning it into a video or GIF. And you simply just click on it, and then it will add that for your graphic. So we'll do that. One day only sale. Okay. I think that is it on fonts. Does anybody have any questions on fonts and how to kind of jazz those up in your content? No? Okay, let's talk about elements. So this is where it gets even more fun. So elements are everything from graphics to frames, so you can put pictures in, to lines, to images, and all sorts of things. So we're going to start here first. We're just kind of going to go down. We're going to go down the list here. When you click elements, it's going to bring up what you've recently used, so you can see all those cloud pictures that I use. So if you used something before and you're like, oh, where I remember that one picture that I loved, you can always come in here, click see all, and it'll pull up everything you've ever used. So you can go back and find that same image. Okay, so let's talk about lines and shapes. These are super easy to use and really a nice way to jazz up your content if you're looking for nice, clean, simple things. So we're just going to add a square over there. Because I have my colors, my brand in here, it usually will almost always add it in one of the colors that I want. But once again, just like with the text, you can change the color. If you have this color box at the top, it means you can change the color. So you can come up here and change it to any color that you want. And you can stretch it. You can make it bigger, smaller. It does not have to stay a square. You can angle it. I like to do when I love this look where it's just kind of like, this bar through the middle. You can move it around, all the things. And that's a really fun way to use any shape, right? You can do a star. You can make it small. Let's actually look at this as well. So this is important to know. So you can see this is actually just working out where everything I wanted this rectangle to be in the background. But I could also put it in the foreground if I wanted. So let's say I want it on top. You select the image or the element that you want, click position, and you can move it forward or backward. So when you move it backward, it moves it closer and closer to the background. If you move it forward, it'll move it closer to you. If you think about things are kind of all layered on top of each other. So let's move it forward and see what happens. Okay, so I moved it forward and it went on top of the star. If I move it forward again, it came on top of the wording. Now, of course, I don't want that in this design. So if I come back here, click position, I can move it backwards. Now I see my wording. Click backwards. Now I see my star. Okay, so that's how you can move things around. Or if you add something and it's covering something up, click on it and hit that position, and then you can move it around based on what else you have going on your canvas. And there's just a whole variety of shapes and size and things that you can use. Lines. Let me talk about lines really quick because they're a little bit different. So you can click a line. There we go. So here's a line. It'll always put it horizontal in the center of your image. So if you do that and you're like, okay, so now I know this is the top half, this is the bottom half. If for some reason you want to gauge it, that's a super easy way. I love to gauge it that way. If I were to flip it, I can flip it to make it horizontal. You can see it shows me my angle. Let's see if I can get it to 90. There we go. So that's vertical, up and down. I can change the color of it. I'll go up here to the square. I'll make it dark like that. I'll make it, it's not quite a black color. Actually, let me make it this color so we can see the difference. If you click on this, you can change the line style. So you can make it dotted, more dotted, even more dotted. Okay. You can also change how thick it is. So by doing this line weight, you can change the thickness, and regardless of whether it's a solid line or it's a dotted line, dash or dotted line. So you can change the thickness depending on how you want it. I like to do things like, like underlining a section. Look, hold on, let me get to 0 degrees. I like to kind of differentiate between a header and a non-header. I can change my ending. I can make my endpoints rounded instead of straight. So you can see there how it's more rounded. So there's a variety of things that you can do with lines. And you'll use, I use lines quite a bit in my designs, even if it's just like a fun little slash through there. All right, so those are lines and shapes. Next, we have graphics. So let's say we want to do, let's search on something. Let's search on cowboy. I don't know why. The star made me think of a cowboy. You can search and it'll just come up with a ton of things. So we're going to look at cowboy graphics. So I clicked see all and just look at all of these things that it pulls up. And a lot of them are free. So you can see that some of them are pro, but let's pull in let's pull in these cowboy boots. Okay, this is a super great example. I'm glad I picked this one. Okay, so you can move it around. You can make it smaller. You can make it bigger, but the neat thing about this, and not all graphics are like this, you'll know this graphic can be changed to your brand colors when you see these colors here at the top. So there's 5 colors in this boot, and you could change every one of them if you wanted. So let's say I want this to be an unstoppable marketing cowboy boot. I can come in here and I can just change each of these colors and see as I change the colors how my boot changes.
Wow.
Okay, so there now it's an unstoppable marketing cowboy boot, right? So and you can see like I would probably you can tell I love that terracotta color, so I would probably change that up. But that's a super great example of how to use a graphic and quickly and easily make it on brand for you. And so you don't really know which ones are changeable till you add it to your canvas here. But if we click back on elements, we can do our see all again and bring, oh, it lost my search. So I'm going to do cowboy again. Okay. And even like these shadows, like these ones that are just shadows, they're almost always changeable to your color. So you can do that. Yeah. So that's a really fun thing to do with elements or graphics. I'm going to go back here. Let me do that again. Let me pull up cowboy again and see. Okay, so some of them are actually animated. So you can use you can turn your image into a GIF or a video by adding these animated elements. Now, animated elements, you're never going to be able to change the color on them. But you can add them. And so see, when I did that, it came up here and said, oh, here are some other ones that you might like, which I love. I mean, you can get lost in looking at these things. I'm not even kidding you. So you could click see all, and it's going to show you all of these other fun things that you might want to add based on what you've selected there. Those are magic recommendations. So I'm going to get rid of that guy. But even, well, that's pro, but like there's fun design things like that. Like how cute would that be on a cowboy, right? That's an actual paid element. Okay, so let's go back to elements and let's do stickers. So stickers are the animated elements. And you can see there's just so many different things. So you can do, these arrows are fun to draw attention to a certain part of the graphic. These words, just, have fun. Go out here, play around, and have fun with these. I'll just add this. So, oh, look it. I can change that color. I've never seen an animated sticker that I could change before. So let's change it. There we go. Okay. So see, that's what you learn something new every time you're on here. I'm not kidding. So we're going to just leave. This is never a design I would actually post, but I just want to show you all the elements. Okay. So let's go back to elements and let's go to photos. So I did kind of show you some things on photos, but we're going to search cowboy again. And I'm going to click here. So I did cowboy. I'm going to search here on photos now. So it has graphics first, photos second. I'm going to see all. And I'm going to pull up, wow, these are fun pictures. I'm I'm going to add another page, a blank page on this to show you some fun things about images that you can do. All right. So let's do, whoa, look at that cowboy. Okay. Oh gosh. Although, okay, let's try this. Let's see if this one will work. Okay. That's a pretty cool picture. So a couple things, we could make this our background again, right? Set image as background. If we want to do that and maybe do a quote, right? This would be a fun quote, right? Like some sort of motivational quote here. I'm going to detach it from the background so I can show you some other features. You can make it smaller. Maybe you just want the cowboy, or maybe you really don't even want the cowboy. You just love this background here. You could do that. You can do that, make it a little bit smaller. So you can play around with it. The other thing you can do is if you have the paid version, you can click edit. Well, you can click edit image, whether you have paid or not, but background remover is a paid part of it. And this right here is almost worth its weight in gold. So let's see if we can remove some of this, remove this background and just get our cowboy. And it takes a minute to do it. So this one wasn't great because it doesn't have his whole body. His legs are cut off. So not a super great example, but this is really good. Maybe you're doing a, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you an upload. So to remove the background. So let me go back and let's just talk about this image again really quick. And then I'll show you a good background remover using a headshot that a lot of you might be interested in for if you have images of people you want in any of your documents. Okay, so another thing that we can do with elements is, let's say, well, I really like this, but I really don't like this shape. If you go back to all elements, so we're just going to click on the elements here. If we come down and scroll down, you can see there's a whole bunch of elements. We can use frames. What frames are going to do is it's going to allow you to kind of reshape a picture, if you will. And frames can be as simple as a circle to, like, maybe I want him on a laptop or a computer screen, a monitor. So we're going to use the monitor because we want this guy as the background on our computer screen. So anytime you have this where it has this little like landscape, cartoon landscape, means you can put an image in there. So if I just left click on this image, I can move it around. And if I just hover it over that frame, it'll automatically put it in that image. So isn't that cute? Like if you were going to do, if you had a product you were going to put there, or maybe an image, you know, your logo, anything like that could go on there. If I wanted to maybe move it around a little, if I click on the frame and hit crop, it'll only let you move it around based on the size of the image. But you can see how I can move it around in that frame. Maybe I want more sky in there. So I could just put it down, click outside of it, and it's moved the image. So let me show you, for example, if you have a headshot of somebody that you want to include. I use this a lot because I sponsor a lot of webinars. And so I'll put the headshot of my guest speaker in there. So I'm going to upload an image. So you can upload your own images. So you can upload images of yourself, of your dog, of your office, of, like, if you do, if you're a painting company, maybe you want to upload pictures of houses that you've painted or a kitchen that you've remodeled or anything like that. You come to uploads. You can upload files just like you would any type of upload. I saved some of my headshots on my desktop. So I am going to pull those in here. So let's do that. Susan Kimmel's headshot. Open it, and you'll see it's going to start uploading it here. And these are just always going to be saved here, anything that you upload. So I'm just going to click on that. It's going to put my image here. But let's say I want it in a circle. So I'm going to go back to elements. And it's still on frames because I never left it. So I want it in just this circle frame. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to left click. You can see I can move it around. I'm going to hover over the frame and put it in there. From here, my head's kind of cut off. I don't really like that. So if I click on it, click on the frame, click crop, I can move it back down like that. Okay. So there, my head is in that circle. I can make it smaller. I can make it larger. Anything like that that I want. I can also edit the image. So if I want to put a filter on it, well, let's just start here. I can make it brighter. So I can kind of edit it. It's not like super great editing tools, but a little bit. I can make the contrast higher or lower. I can do saturation. There, I look a little more red. Or I can apply any of these filters here. So maybe I just want it black and white. I can do that. Or grayscale. So you can use these image filters on either their images or any images that you upload as well. I can also add shadows. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know what's going on with my dog. Oh, it changed the color. Interesting. Or the shape. Okay. We're getting a little advanced here, but oh wow, look at that. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Okay. So that's really high level images. Any questions? Okay.
How did you say about removing the background?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. Let me go back to upload. Let me, you know what? Let me just find a really good one that I can. Okay. There's my dog. We're going to remove the background on my dog. Okay. That's my dog. So you should just edit image. And this is only with the paid version. I'll show you, I'll put in the chat a website that you can use that will remove a background for free, but then you have to like download it and re-upload it. This is just a reason to get the paid version. But if you click on your image, click edit image, come to remove background, it just will automatically remove the background. And it depends on the quality of the picture, how well it's going to remove it. This might get a little wonky with the blankets. So there, you can see it just removed the whole background. So you can use this on products. You can use it on people. Let me see that the image that I uploaded did not have very many. Yeah, it was just a plain background, but let's see how that works. Let's do that. Edit image, remove background. Like if you had somebody that was like, there's a bookshelf behind him and you didn't want that, usually a headshot like this will remove it very nicely. Yeah, so there, it just removes that background. And then you can still put it in a frame. So I scroll down here to frames. We'll do this one. There. So I can still put it in. Let's change my background so you can see that frame a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, I guess you really don't even need to put it in the frame when you remove the background. There we go. So that's how you remove the background. Like I said, let's see, I think I can just type it in here. Remove, yeah, remove.bg is another background remover. It's a free website and you just would upload your image. It'll remove the background and then you have to download the image and then you can bring it back into Canva. Then you could then you upload it into Canva. You would upload the removed background image into Canva. So it's like 4 extra steps if you want to remove the background of an image.
Susan.
Yes.
Okay, I have on the frames. Do
Yes.
they have have you seen how to get just a regular rectangle? Not the one, I can never find the rectangle one. And I can't get the ones like just that it always is doing something else, like putting some line around it. I see it doesn't have the middle handles in the middle of the picture, so you can't pull it out. I was just wondering if, because I haven't found it, I was just curious if you had a way to, I don't want to take up time on it, but
Yeah. So not the square, but an actual rectangle with
the
no,
rectangle.
with nothing. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, but
know.
I tried, I'd like it sideways and I couldn't get it to stay sideways was
Oh,
the
like a
question.
landscape, like a
Yeah,
landscape.
like a regular landscape. I just was surprised they didn't have it. And I have the paid version, but I've never
Yeah.
found a regular rectangle, like a regular square. They don't have a regular rectangle,
I
and
wonder
I've
if
had
it,
need of
yeah, I
that.
wonder if they just think they're already rectangles. And so, but not all pictures are. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not there, so I just didn't know if there was something I was missing. I
No, probably
never
not.
found it.
And
Okay.
I haven't had a lot of um
Well, there's a,
I haven't had a
oh,
lot
well,
of,
maybe that's it there. Yeah, that one. Let me see. Oh,
but
maybe that's it.
it's rounded edges though, is the
Yeah,
rounded edge.
that's okay.
Okay.
All right. So you just searched rectangle
In
under
frames, I search
frames.
rectangles. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Good question.
Perfect.
You can see there's so many fun ones, right?
Hmm.
I've used the letters before. It's fun to do
Yeah.
with images. There's just so many advanced things that you can do with this, but this will give you a high level. And don't be afraid to play around. You always can just delete. I mean, you just do what I'm doing here,
Hmm.
making these crazy images, right? Um, yeah. Okay. So let's see what else. Um, so along the same lines, here, we'll just let me delete. I don't like looking at my face there. Okay. Okay. Uh, Along those lines, you can actually use their stock video in your images as well as upload your own video. If you have video of you talking or showing your product or service, or a video of the outside of your store, whatever it is, you can upload that just like you upload an image. Or you can use their stock photos. So let's just look at their stock photos here. All sorts of really neat things. And you just do it, you use it just like a picture. So you can either just bring it over and it can just be like that. You can put it in a frame and it'll play like that. You can also make it a background, which is really fun. Like if you want to do, they're really fun for like a quote. Let me delete this. So same thing, you can just left click, replace background. So you could even put like, this is really moody. You could put like a really thoughtful quote on there and then download it as an image. And so there's a way to get if you want some video or a reel on your Instagram account, but you don't have time to do the whole dancing and, or whatever, you could just do a quote. And it's going to be a video. Okay. So we're almost up on our 1 hour, but that just, play around with it and don't be afraid. Just, carve out some time if this is something you're interested in and, play around with it. Oh, do you download it differently if you want it as a gift? Great question, Mickey. Yes. So let's just, download this one first. So this one with just the little, animated, element, I would probably just download as a GIF. So you would just click here on the share. Let me move my little things. Download. And then you click here and it can download it as a video or a GIF. So this would be, because I probably wouldn't have sound with this one, right? So I'm just going to download that first page because I had 2 pages in this design. And you can you don't have to do multiple pages. You can do each one as a separate design. I just did for the ease of this presentation, or you can do it this way. It's really whatever works for you and just download it 1 page at a time. So I would just click that. I just want that one as a GIF, download, and click download. And then GIFs and videos take a few minutes to download, but it'll download as a .gif in wherever all your files are downloaded, probably in your download folder. But this one I might want to download as a movie. So I would do the same thing. I would click share, download. That would be an MP4. And then for this one, I would just want to do the page 2, and then I'd click done and download, and it will download it as a movie. Yep. Now, if you do say, well, for whatever reason, I just want it to be an image, even though it has a movie and it has a GIF, you can still download it as a PNG file. So it's fine. It just won't be animated. All right, so that is really high level Canva, a whole bunch of stuff in an hour. I'm going to send you the recording. I just really recommend don't be afraid to try new things and just get out there and play around. So does anybody have any questions before we sign off for the night?
I do. When you're doing the pages,
Yes.
like I'm a life coach, so I'm trying to do, um, I want my post to kind of be a story, follow
Yeah.
along the same line per week. So would I do that as, say, 5 pages, 1 page per post? And then could I save that onto my calendar? What is the difference between doing pages and just doing a single?
Well, so the reason I use pages is like, so I do quotes every week and I want them kind of the same, but I change them up a little bit. So I like do all of my quotes on multiple pages. So I might do it like for the whole month, I might do 4 quotes and it's just it's 4 pages in one design. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're using the same quote, but 4 different designs, or same
I'm
design, 4
using
different
different
quotes?
quotes with super similar designs. So like
Gotcha.
it's probably the same design, but I might like change out 1 or 2 colors. So it's like the same general look, but maybe a color's changed out. So I
Okay.
can just like duplicate the page, change 1 color, change the quote, and I'm done.
Got it.
So once I design that first page, then I can just, hit the this plus button and duplicate it. Right. And then maybe I just change this. So next week I'm going to have it be this color and I'm going to change this to, 2-day sale, which it would just be a quote, but right. And so then it's just an easy way to get my 4 quotes done all in one. And then I just download it all into the four separate graphics.
Love it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And for those people who have the free version, um, is there a setting that you can use to just have the free stuff come up? Or because
I
every
wish.
time I try to use the free stuff, I would go to check out and, oh, you have a premium
Oh, yeah.
content, $2, please. I finally just went ahead and did the Teams so my daughter and my niece could help me, but every
Yeah.
single time it was like there would be a pro element, and there was like,
Yeah,
no,
that's
I
a
did.
total marketing strategy on Canva's behalf. They're not going to do that. They want you to do that because they want you to get the pro or buy it individually. Yeah, I wish there was because, it would make life so much easier. But no, there isn't a way to filter it just by free.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Of course. All right. Well, hopefully you guys are all on my Facebook group. I'm going to have another class coming out that I'm going to start promoting the end of the month. It's going to be in 2 weeks. It's going to be a best practices for Facebook and best practices for Instagram. So just some like best practices on what to do for those 2 platforms. So watch for that coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can ask in the group as well, because if you have a question about it, somebody else does. So I really want to make that Facebook group a great community. If you're not on it, there'll be a link to it when I send out the recording. So thanks, everybody. And I'm so glad that you were on. I hope you learned something new tonight.
Thank you, Susan. It was wonderful.
Great, great. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great evening.